Local organizations gathered to talk about how to fight food insecurity in our community. The Food Insecurity meeting was held by Philanthropy West Virginia. The conference consisted of a panel of guest speakers and group activities. They made connections with other organizations in the area and learned from each other. Jennifer Goddard, President and CEO of Philanthropy West Virginia, wants organizations in attendance to take the chance to come up with solutions together.
The goal of the convenings is to bring people together to talk about where there are gaps in services, where there are gaps in funding and resources. And I really hope people will walk away and say, oh, I met some people that I didn't know about what they were doing, and we can collaborate in the future, we can work together.
Philanthropy West Virginia will host 3 more conferences throughout the state to teach others about how to fight food insecurity in their communities.